overview of the wind energy in action generating and storing power. So you can see how you go in and you already can sort of see what you're going to build, and you have the link to share with your students. But what's really nice is that it outlines in a really easy way, what are your learning goals? Like, what is it that you are going to be focusing on? How do you prepare for it? So, what materials will you need for the lesson? And then it goes into the activity. So, the big idea, and then the success criteria, and so forth. What I really like are the three ways that students can build the project, which supports both scaffolding and differentiation in my classroom. So in the U's, this is a great one for students who have never tried this before. Then you have modify, and you can sort of read how modify takes U's and adds it to another level. And then you have the last part, which is create. So what I really like about this is, and this was one of my biggest concerns, was that the activity that was built into the module would be a one size fits all, which I know doesn't work with my students. So then you go down here and you have the assessment and so forth, and the standards that it reaches. But what I really, really like, so I'm going to just get started real quick and go into this lesson, because if you don't get a chance, these are all free. So you can sign up and get into them without owning the kit, which is something new. Prior to this, I didn't know that I could get into these different activities, but you can see how it has been designed really thoughtfully, with not a lot of writing, and easily navigating it, images, think, pair, shares. You have where it's actually in context with what's happening in the United States. So grounding the problem in what is happening in our community. And then explaining a little bit more. The video content is all short and to the point, and supporting exactly what they are talking about, to build in the lesson. And so you have all of this background information or big ideas, and then you move to the point where your students are creating it. And when you get into here, depending on which one you choose, you jump in and it immediately takes you to make code, and it tells you step by step how to do it. So it shows you the pieces that you need, shows you step by step how you do it. So the first step is just building it, and if you make a mistake, you can go back. You have the audio to explain it to you. So it really, oh, let me back up here. Notice how it shows you, like, this is how you really need to do it. And the connecting pieces, the wire that they've designed with the servos is just brilliant, because I've had more bent wires with my servos just because students don't quite get that part. So this is a great segue for me, to move into much more complicated robotics, but it also gives those students who are ready for that, that opportunity. So notice they're using the dial sensor. And so you get through all of that, and then it moves into the code part of it. And when you are on the simple part of it, are the entry where it's the use part of it, it gives you the code, and it sort of explains and starts to help you work through, like, what is it that you need to do. And obviously I can't keep going through this without showing, without connecting it. But Tell Me More explains, like, what it is that you're using and so forth. I'm just thoroughly blown away by just the resources that this kit has. That's just one of them, and they just keep adding more and more to it. along with this, where there are educator resources. This is what actually drew me to it. Was I was doing a search and I found this design journal template, which it's free, and it's takes my students through the design thinking process in a very grounded way that includes like interviewing and understanding the problem and so forth. So that is just a quick overview of one of the resources.